Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Ba'ishim, Baraka Kudash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Ba'ishim, Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to your Akim out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the Brother Raya with another video, and I'll be profiling this video on the YouTube channel Spiroscorus titled Coronavirus Endgame, the Economic Crisis and Rollout of the New Digital Financial System, the Cashless Society, which will be predicated upon the mark of the beast, which is the RFID/NFC microchip implant. And with the way things are looking with this coronavirus, it could very well be this black swan event that takes the whole system down and ushers in the New World Order and the mark of the beast. 2020 is the year of prophecy after all, so Yahweh willing, this is exactly how it plays out, because you sincere Akim should be ready to get out of this system of Esau Edoms by now. But without further ado, let's play this video.
Mass dissemination. But enough of all that. Let's get into the end game of what I believe we are actually witnessing right here, right now, regarding the coronavirus and this outbreak. To me, this is obvious and it's deliberate. And I have been biting my tongue on this in previous reports, but I'm just going to let it out right now. I think we are witnessing the end of an era, the dawn of a new paradigm. Now, I reported on this before the coronavirus outbreak took the global headlines over 24/7 in a report titled The UN and Central Banks, a Rockefeller and Rothschild Coup.
Rockefeller and Rothschilds, as we always bring out in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, and he causeth all, that he are the elite rulers of this world right now, who are Edomites, or so-called white people, such as the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Gettys, the DuPonts, you name it. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, the microchip implant, in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. The coronavirus brings down the economic system to usher in this new cashless society where everybody will need to be microchipped implanted just to do anything in society, to buy or sell, have a job, you name it. And if you choose not to get the microchip implant, you're going to have to put your head in a guillotine because you didn't accept the New World Order.
Now, please go watch this report if you have not seen it yet. The United Nations and the central banks, which have the same controllers above them, are working together on many fronts to establish a form of global governance, which has been laid out in documents, their own documents, specifically the 2030 Agenda, which was previously Agenda 21. And everything that's happening right now, everything that we're seeing, I believe is undoubtedly connected. Now, if you are new to my reports, new to this channel, please go to those previous reports where I interview Professor Francis Boyle, the author of the U.S. Biowarfare Act, who has 4 different studies where he says confirms the coronavirus is a bioweapon. I've also covered in detail Event 201, which was essentially a United Nations coronavirus pandemic exercise that happened just before the actual coronavirus outbreak took place in Wuhan. Coincidentally, or not, on the same day that the World Military Games were holding their opening ceremonies in Wuhan, China, which of course would have provided the perfect cover for a foreign nation to release a weaponized biological agent there in Wuhan, which is now Ground Zero.
Released by Uncle Sam. And hey, the elder Malcolm always brings it up. When you rearrange the words in Corona, you get raccoon. And Raccoon City was the place where the T-virus broke out in those Resident Evil games.
Now, aside from all that, go look at those reports, please, share them, watch them. Aside from all that, let's cut to the chase. The biggest elephant in the room at the moment is the economy, which is driven and manipulated by the current financial and monetary system, a system which it's been used as a means of control for enslaving entire nations and their people through a debt-based system of control. Now, this system where the American dollar is king was never meant to last forever. In fact, I personally believe it was meant to last just long enough, basically, until technology caught up to the ideology of technocracy. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but this is basically a new system of control that was ready to be rolled out. Now, people do not like change and usually have to be persuaded to some degree to accept change. And I think that 9/11 is a perfect example of how people would have never accepted the rollout of the police state or the surveillance state, in addition to the endless wars abroad, if it was not justified by a major crisis, the terror attacks on September 11th. Now, the current economic, financial, and monetary system is on life support. The Federal Reserve is pumping trillions of dollars into the system to keep it from crashing until the new system of control is ready to go, and it's just about ready. The major central banks have been working for years to develop their own digital currencies. They're called CBDCs, or central bank digital currencies, and they're all on board. They're all doing it. I've been researching this on a daily basis for a while now, and you can see it coming. You can see the partnerships taking place. You can see the rollout. Now it's starting to go mainstream, and it's just about ready to roll out. It was only a matter of
everything connected through a global blockchain, which is powered by 5G, which is predicated upon everyone having a microchip implant to where they're tagged and their every location is known and every purchase and selling of items is known. No escape.
When and how. And the coronavirus looks like the perfect storm to roll out this new system. Now, if the U.S. economy crashes, the global economy crashes, but it will be a controlled demolition, just like the Twin Towers on 9/11. And in my opinion, when you see domestic air travel in the U.S. restricted, that will be basically a major domino to fall, which would signal the crash is only days or weeks away. I hope it doesn't come to that, but this is what it's looking like. We have already seen a huge loss in the stock markets. They say it's already the largest and fastest drop on the stock market since 2008 financial crisis. And we've already seen the New York Stock Exchange signaling towards shutting down floor trading because of the virus. They're worried about contamination, and they're encouraging traders to work from home. And on top of that, this is really important here. The New York Stock Exchange is planning to run a disaster recovery drill on the morning of March 7th. So please mark.
And you, Akim, should know what happens on March 7th. The Passover. And hey, what happened during the first Passover? Egypt was smitten with plagues by the Most High, and Israel was saved from Egypt. And we know that the United States of America is spiritual Sodom and Egypt as pursuant to Revelation 11 verse 8. These are very interesting times we're living in, Akim. Our salvation is nearer than when we believed.
Your calendars for that. It's about a week away from right now when I'm recording this. Now, the Financial Stability Board, which operates under the Bank for International Settlements, is currently preparing final drafts for the new financial system. And they're going to be presented to the G20, which is coming up very soon, here in the coming weeks. And it's going to be essentially the global framework for this new financial system. The UN has also had plans in the works, and they've been funding their own cryptocurrency projects. Mark Carney, who is the current head of the Bank of England, will soon take on a new role at the United Nations as the Secretary General's Special Envoy to Climate and Finance. He'll also be a major player in the new system of control, the new financial system, and its rollout, as well as the former head of the International Monetary Fund and current head of the European Central Bank, Christine Lagarde. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is not about money. This is about control. These private central banks print money out of thin air. They already have literally all of the money in the world that they could ever need or want. They want to centralize power. They want to control the population and ultimately reduce it. It's been documented over and over. I know that sounds extreme, but it's real. I mean, I cover this in my previous report about the UN coup, basically, with the Rockefellers and Rothschilds. They're just two of the more well-known names who are involved in these programs, involved in establishing these United Nations programs and these central banks and their agendas. And I try to lay it out as best as I can and condensed as I can in that other report. So basically, to recap, this current coronavirus crisis will be used to conceal the crimes of the international banksters. Nobody wants to take responsibility for the collapse, so it will be blamed on this outbreak. They will remove cash from circulation, which we are already seeing in China. This could take some time, but very soon, these central banks are going to roll out their digital currencies, and we will find ourselves in a cashless society. And this is going to be the cherry on top of the international surveillance state, where everything and everybody will be tracked, controlled, monitored, taxed, and regulated into submission. This is the implementation.
And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand and in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark.
Period that we see rolling out, and it's all connected to the United Nations, the central banks, the climate change agenda, and I believe the coronavirus. Now, I'll leave a link to my previous report, which is a must-watch. It will help to provide greater clarity on what is actually taking place. I was planning on publishing this information. I was actually going to wait to publish it because I was planning on having a financial expert Greg Manarino on to discuss this current economic crisis and the coming economic crisis, but we had a scheduling issue, so I went ahead and I'm making this report as brief as I can just to get the information out there so people can really see. Take a look at this information. Look for yourself. Do the research. Watch these previous reports and decide for yourself. Am I full of crap? Am I completely wrong? Or has this all been planned and rolled out and set up for years? I mean, everything is falling into place for this new financial system, which will be the ultimate system of control. Now, I will be having Greg Manarino on very soon to get his take on all this, so stay tuned for that. But be sure to share your thoughts below. Share this report. We've seen a record number of CEOs quit their positions in the last year and even in the last recent days here. And I think that's because they know what's coming. They see the writing on the wall. These are the top insiders. Now, make sure you guys are ready as well. Have some plans. Have some food. Have some cases of water on standby because you never know what's going to happen. Shit. Hi, sweetheart. I'm recording right now.
Let's get through this.
Sorry about that. So basically, try to get your affairs in order. I've been doing the same. I've also been investing in crypto. I'm not a financial advisor, but I've been doing it leading up to this because I've seen the writing on the wall. I think that this is going to be one of the next major industrial revolutions, so to speak, as this whole current
Cryptocurrencies, gold, silver, prepping, survival skills, fighting skills aren't going to save you. Only Yahweh, Ba'ishim Yahushai, Ba'ishim Rakakwadash. And only if you're an Israelite of the elect, the 144,000 and the rest of the righteous 1/3.
current system, this current monetary and financial system is ready to make this transition into this new sustainable financial system. And of course, those of you who are familiar with the 2030 Agenda and Agenda 21, when you hear that word sustainable, red flags go off, and they should go off. And if they're not going off right now, you need to do more research. The information's out there, and we don't know how long this information is going to be out there because as we've seen in Event 201, the pandemic exercise, they were talking about censoring people like me. They're talking about censoring information like this, information which they deem as dangerous and conspiracy theorists, when all I'm doing is looking.
Hey, the coming famine of the word. The FBI came out with a report last year on how so-called conspiracy theories could be the next leading cause in domestic terrorism. That's pretty much it with this video. Hey, as Joachim can see, we're getting closer and closer to the mandatory implementation of the mark of the beast, the microchip implant, and Yahweh willing, it happens as soon as possible because we know that once the mark of the beast is mandatorily implemented, shortly thereafter, Yahushua is going to return to save his elect and war with you heathen nations and put it into your rulership, chiefly the rulership of Esau, Edom. This is Job 20. I'm going to read 23 to 26. When he is about to fill his belly, after these Edomites have mandatorily implemented the mark of the beast, they think they've finally established their new world order and that they can sit back and relax and sail off into the sunset. The Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Nuclear-tipped ICBMs are going to be shot to the ends of the earth. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. And that iron weapon and bow of steel are those nuclear missiles. What you have to remember is that when the prophets saw these visions thousands of years ago, they didn't know what a nuclear-tipped ICBM was, so they had to describe it the best way they could with what they knew during their times. Weapons of war such as iron weapons, bows of steel, arrows, glittering swords, chariots, horsemen, etc., etc. Verse 25, it is drawn and cometh out of the body. Yeah, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him, that nuclear fire. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. Wherever you Edomites dwell is going to get hit by a nuclear missile. And the main place that's going to get this work is the United States of America, your mother base, which is known as Babylon the Great in the scriptures, as well as spiritual Sodom and Egypt in Revelation 11, verse 8. And also that whore upon many waters in Revelation chapter 17. And you Akim should know not to take this mark of the beast once it's mandatorily implemented, even if you have to be a martyr in this truth for not taking it, because if you do take it, you're a dead man anyway, because you're going to take part in this fire not blown that shall consume him. Close it out in Revelation 14, verse 9 through 10. And the third angel followed him, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, Esau, Edom's financial, political, and military system, the NATO-EU alliance, which the U.S. is a part of, the reincarnated Roman Empire, the last leg of the fourth beast, and receive his mark, the microchip implant, in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. Those nuclear missiles, as well as laser beams from the chariots of the Most High, which people ignorantly refer to as so-called UFOs, in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, Yahushua HaMashiach. So with this video, I hope you sincere Akim are edified. Just keep strong and keep pushing this word. We're almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathens, chiefly Esau, Edom. And as always, I'm going to say Abba Ball, Kwam Yasharala. Till next time, Shalom.